It's 6:49 this Monday, back with your top stories in our Sunrise Smart Start and some breaking updates we've been following for 2 hours now. A crew has been on scene of a house fire this morning in Gates. Aran Spitzer heard from the chief. She's there live in that neighborhood on Tandoy Drive. Aran.
Brennan, we did hear from the chief around a half hour ago, and he said that not to worry, nobody was at home and nobody is hurt. Now, when we arrived around an hour and a half ago, we did see firefighters on the roof there, kind of trying to get at those hot spots, ripping apart areas where they can get to those flames. Now, the fire is currently under investigation, and it looks like what firefighters are doing at this point is that analysis work, kind of trying to assess what is going on, because at this point they have packed up. Hoses are away. We see EMS grabbing their things together, and during the time that we've been here, of course, we had not seen them care for anybody because, again, the chief said nobody was home at the time and nobody is hurt. So again, this fire, cause of the fire is under investigation. For now, reporting, Aran Spitzer, News 8.
Aran, thank you. There live near Gates Child High School this morning with that scene starting to clear. Jury selection today begins for the upcoming trial of one of 3 men charged in a kidnapping case from Greece. 29-year-old Jaquan Martin is the first to go to trial. In September last year, police say they responded to a call of a menacing at Glenora Garden Apartments. There they found 5 boys and 3 adult men. Officers say at least one 13-year-old was in the common area of the complex and was confronted by Martin, who lived there. Police say he held up a loaded gun, threatened the boy, then detained him in the apartment for about 45 minutes. It wasn't until later officers say they eventually found that young victim naked in a car with 2 other suspects arrested, Myquan and Linus Williams. All 3 suspects previously pleaded not guilty to all their charges related to the kidnapping and to gun-related crimes. An order of protection was also issued for the victim. The trial for the other 2 defendants is slated for next month. The start of this week marks day 27 of the government shutdown, and there are even more signs of the toll it's taking on travel for millions of Americans, as well as for federal employees, their pay, and other programs that could have some tough days ahead. Sunday was one of the busiest at LAX. It ground to a halt, though, in LA because of staffing problems for the airport. It was back to normal operations by the evening hours, but there could be more issues ahead, with air traffic controllers missing their first full paychecks tomorrow. Elsewhere, food banks around the U.S. are bracing for a spike in need, with SNAP benefits set to be frozen November 1st. That's this weekend for 42 million people. In Washington, Democrats are standing firm, demanding extensions be made to health care subsidies. But on Face the Nation Sunday, the U.S. Treasury Secretary pushed for moderates to end the deadlock.
We're not going to support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
I would urge moderate Democrats to be heroes, come across the aisle like they did in the spring, and pass a clean CR.
The Senate side, that chamber is back in session this afternoon, but still there is little hope for significant progress today. News 8, your local election headquarters. This is day 3 of early voting, and throughout Monroe County, the numbers show more than 5,000 people have already cast their ballots. Local elections this fall will be held to fill dozens of vacant seats, including for town supervisors, state Supreme Court justices, and of course the race for Rochester mayor. And with a total of 9 days of early voting, the mail-in ballot options, and brand new accessible voting machines, anyone who's eligible is encouraged to get out and vote. Before you do that, make sure you double check everything: eligibility, accuracy of your registration, any addresses that needed to be changed, and your polling location, if that might have moved or if it's the same spot. We've got that in one full guide over at rochesterfirst.com. As we go inside the huddle, what a statement game for the Bills in North Carolina. A great rebound win coming off their bye week and those back-to-back losses. The Bills look strong on both sides of the ball, beating the Panthers by a margin of 31 points. It was a slow start to the first quarter. The Bills only managed to tack on a field goal, and then the hero of the day, running back James Cook, had himself a banner outing that started with this impressive 64-yard touchdown run. He finished in style with his signature flip to cross the plane. Cook had a career best 216 yards, 2 scores. Khalil Shakir piled on as well. The wideout added a catch of more than 50 yards for a touchdown.
I think if you look at the efficiency that he's had, so how many rushes did he have today? 19. I mean, he's playing outstanding. I think the more times we get the ball in his hands, the better that we're going to be. Same thing with 10 with Khalil. Just again getting the ball in his hands and letting him make some plays for us. But yeah, I mean, I love handing it off and getting to throw my hands up from 50 yards out. You know.
The defense is pretty good too. A.J. Epinesa caught a well-timed pick, but just a yard shy as he's taken down before his second pick six of his career. After a few rough games, many in Bills Mafia say this one sure was to boost the confidence.
You know what? I was worried. I've been worried the past couple weeks, but today is just kind of like boosted up a bit of my confidence in them.
Oh my God. So James Cook, I think he went over 200 yards. Josh is on point. Shakir, everybody eats. We had a bunch of people running the ball, and it's just been a perfect game. I didn't think the score would be as far as it was. I thought the Panthers would score a little bit more, but we were just on the ball because we had that bye week.
The Bills back home Sunday against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, who play the Commanders tonight. It'll be Buffalo and KC kicking off at 4:25 from Orchard Park. By the time we get there, it'll be a new month. Before that, let's get through the final week of October and Halloween. You got the 8th-day here before everyone heads out.
Yeah, it is a chilly start to the day. You can see we got a couple more chilly starts for the next couple of mornings, and our high temperatures are still going to be below average. We typically expect to be in the mid to upper 50s for this time of year. We're going to be in the low 50s for the rest of the week and even into the weekend. Mostly sunny skies to start the week, but by the time we reach Thursday, we've got rain, and that rain likely to continue into Halloween.
We'll see you at 9 o'clock for our podcast, Second Cup of Sunrise, on the Rochester First streaming app, also at rochesterfirst.com. Enjoy your Monday. CBS Mornings on the way.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.